Okay, we are live. Hey, everybody, welcome to Hacks Chat interviews. And I'm your host, RT Bear. And with me, as always, is Taylor Grosso, the lovely, talented Taylor Grosso.
Hello. There we
Hello,
go.
hello,
Are,
hello.
are we doing
I
that this
hope I
time?
don't scare her away.
Oh man. Oh, and we have a special guest. We have Nasser, the writer of and creator, right, of
Co-creator.
Brutus, co-creator of Badass. Brutus the Badass, I guess, is the full title. Let me say that again. I
Yeah.
stumbled over it. Brutus the Badass. There you go.
Yes. So
So
he's a
how?
complete opposite of Art.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Please, man. You're gonna make it hard for me to be nice to you, aren't you?
Cut the
Maybe.
stream.
Cut. We're done. See you later, Nasser. No. Nasser is don't let this demeanor fool you. He's a nice boy and he's a talented writer. And this is your second Indiegogo, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you had Stardust, and now you have Brutus the Badass. And Nasser, why don't you take this moment and let everybody know who you are, what you're all about, and all that good stuff.
Oh man, I was not prepared for this.
Give us your
You weren't,
pitch
wait a
of who
minute.
you
You weren't,
are.
you weren't prepared to talk about yourself
I don't know what there
in
is
an
to
interview
say. I'm not that interesting.
in an interview program. I don't know what to say.
Whoa, this is unexpected.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean I could talk about the book, but there's nothing to say about myself.
What is your
Okay.
past, Nasser? How long have you been a comic book fan?
Yes.
Uh, since 2013.
And that was the day you were born, right? You came out of the womb like reading Superman.
No, I was born in 97. Or
Okay.
I know you were already in your 60s by then, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I'm in my early 80s now, so your
Such a
math is
baby.
your math is right on.
So,
So you don't want to talk about yourself. But you do want to talk about Brutus the Bad A, right?
Well, I mean, I don't. If you had a specific question, sure. But when you say talk about myself, I I haven't done anything that interesting, so I don't know what
well,
you
how'd
guys
you
are
get
looking
mixed up
for.
in this whole Comicsgate crowd?
Yeah.
Um, Somebody in a Facebook group posted a link to one of Zach's videos, and I watched it and found the rest of his videos, and I was just like, finally, somebody that makes sense. And I was like, the industry must love Zach then. And then I got on Twitter, and I was like, oh man, it's the opposite. Because I never really used my Twitter before, and I was like, oh man, what is this industry? I didn't know it was that crazy.
Donal is in the chat right now, and he says Art was already making millions at Extreme when Nasser was born.
Yeah, that
For
was a
real.
huge success. Hey, Donald, if you want to come in, come on in. Yeah, we're not opposed to that, so it could be fun. So I think you sent him the link, right, Nasser?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, so we
So
might get Donal in here soon if
yes.
he's so inclined.
So if you're just tuning in right now, I might sound a little congested. I got a bit of a cold, and so we're sickies here.
Yeah, if Donald comes on, we're gonna have the three most awkward dudes in Comicsgate on here.
Three? You mean two?
Okay, yeah, we'll have you
Oh,
and Donald on here.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go.
so you started off following Comicsgate, Nasser, and then somehow you ended up in the midst creating things. Did you ever foresee that happening?
Um, well, from all the no's I got from artists, no, I thought I was just never gonna make anything. But but now it's awesome. I have like artists hitting me up every day, like let's make something, and then I have to be the guy that's after years of being told no every single time. Now I have to be the one to say no. I can't run this many Indiegogos. There's only so much time because each one takes like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, it
That's
takes time to plan all this stuff. Yeah.
that's kind of the dream, though. So,
Um,
how did Brutus end up coming about?
Okay, as soon as Donald posted on Twitter something along the lines of, I just started watching Zach's videos. I don't think he's a white supremacist. And I was like, that's it. This guy, I mean, they're gonna blacklist him now. So I immediately emailed Donald, and I'm like, Donald, me and you, right? And Donald's like, no. And then I was like, okay. So a week later, I email him again. I'm like, Donald, me and you, right? He's like, no. And then probably a couple weeks after that, he follows me on Twitter, and then he messages me. He's like, well, I talked to every other writer in Comicsgate. Nobody wants to work with me. I guess I'm stuck with you. And I was like, yes.
Aw.
I'm kidding. That's not how he said it. He was just like he's like, have you ever read Lobo? And I was like, maybe one book. I'm more of a Marvel person. And then he's like, what about Trencher? I was like, no, never read Trencher. He's like, well, this book is just like those. And I was like, okay. He's like, here are the characters, have fun. And I was like, sweet.
Oh, so he already had the characters, and then he brought him to
Yeah.
you. Was it a comic previously, or was it just an idea that Donald had?
No, it was just an idea. He had some of the concept art, and he was just like, have fun.
People in
So
the chat really want Donald invited. Donald, come in. He said he doesn't want a pity invite.
This was never a pity. I just never knew it was an option to.
hey, I
Actually,
invited Art out of pity. We can invite you.
you
Come on,
invited me
Donald.
to my own interview of you.
All right.
And Nasser's taking control already. This is the Nasser show. No, it's not out of pity. So if you want to come on. You're definitely welcome. Like I said, I didn't know it was an option to even get you. So there you go.
Yeah, please, come on.
Yeah, well. See, she said, please. Now you have to go on. Yes.
We need you, Donald.
Okay, so Donald then is like he's saying, I got these ideas. Here's some visuals, and then you guys did you block out some stories, character stuff? What did you and Donald do after that?
No, he just told me what the character's like. He was just because I didn't know anything about Lobo. He's like, "Well, do you like Wolverine then?" And I was just like, "Yes." And then he's like, "Okay, write him like Wolverine." So that's what I did. I tried to make him sound and act like Wolverine, but it's also a comedy, so I had to make some moments that wouldn't necessarily be Wolverine-ish, but but it was fun to do.
So he gave you the pitch of the character, and then you formed a story around it.
Yeah.
Did he have a basic beginning, middle, and end of the story?
Nope. I told him, I was like, Donald, I don't really like to plan anything. I just like to go off the top of my head. Is that cool with you? And he was like, I guess. So I was like,
Hey,
sweet.
he's here.
Donald!
What lies are you telling, Nasser?
A lot of them.
Hi,
turns
Donald,
out-
welcome.
Yeah, hey Donald. It turns out Nasser is a little confrontative.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Oh, good. How about yourself?
I'm okay. How do I sound? I've got new headphones, so I'm not
You
sure how
sound-
I sound.
You sound great. The energy is a little low, but the volume's good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. Well, if you need more energy, I can always just.
There
turn
you
it
go.
up.
There you go. Well, to compete with Nasser, yeah, we're gonna have to start yelling.
Charisma war.
Yeah, I loved Donald. I love the style. I love the character designs. I've always been a big fan of Lobo and the tongue-in-cheek kind of humor there. So yeah, I think
Oh.
Brutus the Badass is a cool idea.
Art's giving me the vapors. I'm getting the vapors.
I'm verklempt.
So I haven't I have to back the book, but is the story post-apocalyptic or is it like cyberpunk or something? I love me some post-apocalyptic stuff.
Well, in that case, it's post-apocalyptic.
There you go.
Sign me up.
No,
I'm-
it's set in space. Whatever.
It could be set pretty much anywhere.
We can do a post-apocalyptic planet that he goes to.
There you go.
Perfect.
I have
Well,
a
he definitely-
post-apocalyptic story in my back pocket. I'll give to Art.
Well, Brutus definitely looks punk. He like punk meets Elvis Presley.
It's like a greaser.
Yeah.
I call him Psychobilly, which I just recently found out that's actually a genre.
It's a
of
real
music.
thing. Yeah. And he fits right into that.
But it feels much better like you discovered it on, or like you created it yourself, Donald, right? Like,
I did. This fully
Yeah.
formed in my head, and then I went on the internet, and millions of people had just uploaded videos at that moment.
You know what that happens?
It's
That
great.
happens to me all the time.
Yeah, they just had my back immediately.
Yeah, I always think I created something, then I Google it. I'm like, wait a minute. Created in the '60s. Where have I been? I
Let's
set you up,
see.
Nasser, for an old person joke.
I know he didn't take it that time.
No,
I felt bad,
Nasser
but don't get
doesn't-
used to it.
Don't get
Nasser
used.
really doesn't get humor, which is why I told him to write the book seriously.
That was
And
You told me the humor was good.
So how long did it take for you guys to collab and write up this thing?
I think I had the script like the next day or something.
I think
Wow.
he had like 4 scripts the next day.
I had 4 scripts within a couple days.
So it's a 48-page, right? Graphic novel?
Yeah,
The first one. The first
Okay.
one.
but it has the potential to get longer if we hit 30 grand, I believe.
Hey, would you guys mind maybe us backing up a little bit and going through the Indiegogo, and then you guys can talk a little bit about it, just so everybody has context to what we're talking about here?
Sure.
Yeah,
All
let's show the chat.
Yeah, so I push the button here, I lock on me, I go over screen share, boom. I share.
Art, are you reading the notes you have written down?
I didn't write them down, Taylor did.
There
All right, magic, look at that.
we go.
I deliver.
All right, I see it.
All right, so this is Brutus, the Bad You Know What, #1 by Donal Delay and Nasser Robati. Is it Rabati or Robati?
Rabadi.
Rabati.
Rabadi.
That's
Like
a
Rock Your Body.
That's a
You
ooh. So
guys are bringing hyper 90s action, overly macho brutes back to comics.
there you go.
Yes.
I'm going back to Arts Day.
Right. When the industry was somewhat normal.
Yeah, and there was a lot of money to be made.
I've heard some of those stories. I wouldn't exactly call the industry normal back in that day.
No, but there was
When the
money.
industry cared, we'll put it that way.
You know what? I really like this. Was this a conscious, like a Simon Bisley kind of color scheme for the cover here? Because it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
100%. Kelsey Shannon, he did the colors for it, and he said that the art had a Bisley vibe, and that he could probably paint it to look like Bisley painted it. And I was like, if you can do that, you will be my best friend.
There was another version of this, wasn't there, early on in the campaign?
Yeah, there was mine with colors that really didn't compare to Kelsey's.
Okay. Yeah, this thing looks
That cover is awesome.
I'm super glad that he decided to recolor it.
Hey, Taylor, do you know that we actually have a connection with Kelsey as well? He colored the Batman Arkham Knights annual with
Oh, he did?
yeah, with Steven Segovia. Yeah.
I got to relook at that work. He's very good.
Yeah, he's really talented.
He is amazing. He's like a master at shape-shifting in art.
Yeah. So the logo, is that you as well, Donald?
No, that is Bob Stone. He did the logos for Jawbreakers, Iron Sights, and Zach's Devil Dog.
Okay.
Coming up.
I'm a big fan of the stamp. You know, like Married with Children. You know how the stamp goes over the logo. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Look, that's very cool. So we got
I
the
wanted-
cover. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was just gonna say I wanted it to be kind of like a certification.
Certified badass.
For immature adults. Okay.
I like that there's a sound effect on the cover of him snapping that guy's neck. I just noticed it. It says snap.
Do you see the entrails too? This is not nice. Those guys are getting hurt really bad.
What is the age range for this audience, you guys?
As long as they're immature, it's okay.
Yeah, it's not for kids.
It's not a kid's book. Oh, that's a great shot of him leaping down.
Although a lot of 90s books were kind of like that. Ooh, they're hitting his belt buckle shining.
Shing. So are these your colors, Donald?
Yeah, these are gonna be recolored though. This was just to have some colored pages up for the book. I'm pretty sure we're gonna hit the 20,000 goal in order to hire the colors. So I've already gone ahead and asked him if he'd do it, and he said yes.
Oh, very cool.
Who's
yeah,
can you say who the colorist is for the interiors?
It's me.
It's Josh Perez. He does a lot of coloring for IDW on some of their Transformers books.
Mm.
Well, I'm a big fan of this kind of more flat coloring. So I actually like this coloring that you did. This is really nice.
I
Thanks.
agree.
Yeah. So even if you guys, well, you will do the 20, but this would be nice regardless.
Well,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
think so.
Yeah, it's mostly because it's not my craft, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I can do it, but it's not something that I think about all day. And hiring somebody who does that for a living, they're gonna think of things as they're coloring that wouldn't even come to my mind.
Yeah, I know that the collaboration, like we're working with, I think you say his name, Perea. And yeah, the stuff he brings to the table is pretty amazing. And it's things that are way outside of my wheelhouse. So I know
Yeah,
exactly what you're saying.
yeah. Plus I'm a slow colorist, so it helps speed up production on the book and gets it out to people faster. And that's the
Yeah.
main thing for me.
How many pages of it are you guys into at this point?
I'm inking page 16 right now.
And it's 48 pages, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's going to be a follow-up as well, right? So it's two 48-page graphic novels?
After this, the next two books are going to be 72 pages.
Oh my gosh. Are you up for that,
Wow.
Nasser?
I mean, it's already written.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we're basically just condensing books 2, 3, and 4 into 72 pages, two 72-page books.
Yeah, we just got to do a little editing.
Oh my gosh. So this is his hot rod circling around, right? So he's going to jump into it?
Yeah, it's I call it a space rat rod.
I love rat rods.
It was very influenced by Ed Roth and
Big Daddy. The
Rat
Big
Fink
Daddy
line.
Roth. Yeah, yeah. Does he have the big gear shift and the big knob?
Oh yeah, whenever I show the inside of it, it's gonna have a similar seating to Space Dandy. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I love Space Dandy. Oh my
But
gosh.
his controls are like he's sitting in a big old chopper with gorilla hangers on it.
Oh my, that's awesome.
And there's gonna be this big skull gear shift sitting right next to him that he's just gonna go chunk chunk.
Oh, he's got the portal window on the side too. That's really cool.
Yeah.
The old T-Birds, like the hard top, because it reminds you of like a hard top, like T-Bird. Remember when the whole top came off and it had that little what they call like submarine windows or those porthole windows?
Yeah, you can pop it open.
Yeah, portholes.
Yeah, but the whole top came off too. This looks like it's like almost like a hard top convertible.
Yeah, this one isn't. This boat is about the size of probably an 18-wheel rig.
Oh my gosh, it's huge. Okay.
Because it's also his house.
So he's living on it. Okay. All right, that guy's toast. He's gonna get run over or something, right? The guy. Just like I'm crap. Okay. So it's just a pin up here, with him standing.
That's just a promo.
Okay.
Just a little promo piece to show off the two main characters.
The mom tattoo is always a good touch.
Classic.
It's classic. It's a classic.
I have to thank Andrew Huerta for that one.
For the mom tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh, look, it says here Nasser has two self-published graphic novels. Stardust is his other. Yeah. There you go. So is this your first book, Donald?
No, I had one at Image that they just released the trade of it. It was called Death of Love, and it was with Justin Jordan.
As far as crowdfunding though, is this your first
As far as crowdfunding,
Indiegogo?
yeah, definitely my first crowdfunded book.
Well, do you guys want to talk about some of the tiers or give the pitch, Nasser?
Nasser, where'd you go, Nasser?
Yes, I'll give the pitch. So it's a action comedy set in space. Brutus is a bounty hunter, and his memory's been wiped for a few years. And during his latest hunt, his past catches up with him and begins to hunt him down. And he's got a cool sidekick named Gideon. That's a robot that thinks he's a human.
Oh. Gideon.
Oh,
You're
Gideon.
gonna love him.
So you guys have a whole like series planned already, at least the next several issues, it sounds like.
Well, let me back up for a minute. So is Gideon modeled after you, Nasser, the robot?
No,
Okay.
I love that everybody asks you that.
everyone does ask me that.
Go ahead, Taylor.
I was just gonna ask because it sounds like you guys have more planned for this series, but do you guys plan on working together on a different series or more after that? Like, what are your guys' future
Yes,
plans together?
we have like 130, I think, page graphic novel we're gonna do at some point, but I don't know when.
I thought we were doing
Inter-
it after these first 3 Brutus books.
Can you guys talk about it, or is it still too early and forbidden? It's okay. No, no
No, it's
pressure.
a little too early.
Well, let's back up here since we have this campaign page on. So let's explain these tiers. So we have the feature, which is 50, and also wait, let's back up. We have 9 days here. We have 9 days. So if you're going to get a Brutus, the Badass book, you guys got to get on it. So we have the featured book, which is a book plus 6x9 drawing. So, Donald, is the book is the drawing going to be in the book, or is it going to be like on a separate sheet?
A separate sheet. It's going to be a 6x9 piece of bristleboard.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
$50. That's a pretty good deal right there.
That's a great deal. So they got 53 out of 200 claims. So there's still plenty of those. So we have the $8 digital copy. So those are good because you can probably get those out faster to everybody. So if you guys want to get your book early, you can get your digital copy.
And
Right,
digital's usually the way.
Because those will come out before before you get them all printed up and everything, right?
Yeah. That's also good for international people too.
Yeah, definitely. It's because the shipping is a little pricey sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, depending on where you're shipping to. So the 25 that's the book itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 40-page book. Are they signed? No. Are they signed?
Yeah, they will all be signed.
Oh, okay. There.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
both of you guys will be signing those?
No, just Donald. He's the one chained to the desk.
Really, Nasser? You're not going to sign them?
I can't. I'm in Chicago. He's down in Florida.
Oh, that's right. You guys would have to start
Oh.
shipping them back and forth, and that would probably be cost prohibitive.
You know, even though he just made like a ton of money on his Stardust campaign.
I did not make a ton of money.
Probably
Over 10 grand is already gone.
I mean, he could
Just
fly
in
down
shipping.
here, and I wouldn't charge him very much to sleep in my house.
Aw.
Yeah, see, Nasser, that's a generous offer.
You go visit.
He would charge you a minimum fee to sleep in his house.
Yeah,
I'm not going to visit. I got no money.
it's cheaper than any kind of Airbnb.
Sounds like you guys are gonna have to do like the convention circuit so people can get the both the signatures.
Yeah, that's always an option. So somehow Nasser's going to have to start doing some live shows so they can get your signature on the books. Okay, so
If only there was some kind of convention where you guys could all gather soon.
Maybe.
I mean, that's all right. I mean, the artist is the most important signature to have on a book, anyways.
You know what?
Right.
This is true. I mean, I'm sorry.
Don't you mean the letterer?
Ooh, that's a burn.
The what?
The letterer, he said.
What's a letterer? Do they do something for books?
Whoa! Moving on.
Wait a minute, who's lettering your book?
I'm just kidding. That is a very difficult craft. I've tried that one too, and
Okay.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, it's tedious. Okay, so we have the next tier is the 2 copies of Brutus #1. So is this at because usually these are either you save shipping or there's a little bit of a discount.
There's a little discount.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like $10.
Oh wow, that's a lot of discount.
Yeah, so if you can get a buddy together, you guys can go in on 2 books and get a deal, everybody.
Yeah, that's we call ours the buddy tier. So this is like a buddy tier, so that's cool. So you got 30 of those claimed.
I like how you thought out the names for all your tiers, and we're just like, here's one copy, here's two copies.
Just because Art put a lot of thought into what he's doing, and we just kind of slapped something together on the day.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, come on now.
I wish. Yeah. If it seems that way, it's all accidental. Okay, here's the good ones to support the troops. So we have 50, and so how does this work? You get one signed book, and 2 will go to the USO. Okay.
It's pretty cool that so many of the Comicsgate campaigns do that. I really like that.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is basically like buy 2 get 1 free. Sort of
Yeah.
thing, USO.
But you guys will be shipping them out to the USO, right? So you ship 1 to the person that ordered it, and then 2 out to the USO. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have. If it wasn't for the military, my dad worked. Well, my dad's a vet, or was, and he worked for the Long Beach Naval Shipyard. So all of his civilian life, he worked, for the government. And so he worked on the big destroyers and flat tops and stuff like that. It was cool as a kid because I could go down to the yard there and you could see all these big ships and stuff like that there in the dry docks and things like that.
It's pretty cool.
I also got to see, Taylor, this will mean something to you since you're a SoCal, is I got to see the Queen Mary being towed in to the dock there. The
No
dry dock.
way, really?
Yeah, it was all pink. Like, I guess it's a primer
What?
color. Yeah, so the whole ship was pink. And, it was being towed in with tugboats and stuff to its final location. So they built like a platform for it. So it's not really floating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of built on a platform. So I got to see all that when I was a kid. So it was pretty cool.
Wow, it's so surreal.
Yeah, and just to bring like the troop thing home is they also had like the naval base had barracks. So like when they would bring these ships in, they had like all the Navy guys had to live there, until the ship got repaired or whatever, fixed up, and then they went back out to sea. So this was probably like late 60s, well, probably mid-late 60s, and those guys, believe it or not, the troops and stuff, not the Marines, but the Navy guys, they read a bunch of comics. So what they would do is sometimes they would just leave them around or whatever, and then my dad would say, "Hey, I got a son at home, and he would love to,
Aw.
And so those guys would just give my dad, the books after they were done with them, and he'd bring them home. And so that was my introduction to comic books. So I know a lot of troops and a lot of military guys do read comic books. So I think that's a really cool
awesome.
tier, you guys.
Yeah.
That's a really nice little nod to them.
That's a cool story.
Well, thank
And
you.
I don't mean that in a sarcastic way, like cool story, bro. I mean, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. I'll even back up. I have still, I think it was 3 original Green Lanterns by Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil that were in some of those stacks.
Ooh, nice. Somebody had good taste in those barracks.
Yeah, I still have those today. They're all like well loved. They're not in great shape, so they're probably not worth anything. But I do have them, so that's pretty cool in my collection. All right. Go ahead.
I think that's a pretty big demographic, even still. A lot of military guys read comics. My buddy Sam Art that you met at shout out to Sam. We met him at Free Comic Book Day as a military guy, and he's like one of my few friends that is also really into comics.
And he's exceptionally cool. So yeah,
He is.
there's something about the military guy. Yeah.
They got discipline.
They got the discipline, yeah, and they're very thankful because they know what it's like to like have to do without and kind
Gracious,
of
yeah.
and sacrifice. So okay, so now we're at the thank you page. So we have Brutus #1 6x9 drawing and your name on the thank you page. So you got 9 out of 50 for that. So you only have 9 people in the thank you page. We got to get more people.
Yeah, you guys, the link is in the description if you guys want to go right now and back Brutus the Badass.
Because at this point, it's like a half a thank you page, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a quarter.
Maybe
a quarter. Name's really big.
then you have to call it like the shout out page.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna steal that.
It'll be like really huge, like comic book font. John Jones. Sid
It
you.
just a cross.
Bob Smith. It's like you're yelling at them. Put exclamation points at the end of their name.
It would seem
Sue.
it would seem incredibly personal if there was only like 2 people, because it'd be like, oh, what did they do? Like, why did they get their name printed here?
They'd have to give you more than $70 for that one.
Yeah.
A splash page, a splash thank you page. NASA would have to write something like he'd have to. What do they call
Thank
that?
you letter.
Yeah, a little thank you. Yeah. A personally signed. It'd be like one of those Hallmark cards.
That'd be awesome.
You open, it's a double page from all of us on this very special day. On your very special day. Welcome to the world of Brutus, the badass.
The real badass is you. It's just him. It's just him pointing.
Yeah. All right, we gave you guys a bunch of $1 million ideas, so yeah. Get on it, Nasser.
All right, what's the next one?
Nasser's packing his books.
Next one is the one Art's getting.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, a likeness in the book.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. I want to be one of the aliens. I want blue skin.
Wait, explain this.
Well, we
Yeah.
did this one so we could find all the cute girls in Comicsgate, but so far we've just got a bunch of weird old guys. So
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
See, Art is going to get one for free.
Ooh. I like that.
If he gives me his address, I'm going to send his ass one for free.
Oh
Aw.
my gosh, Donald, you are so sweet. That would be amazing.
stop costing us money.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. If it wasn't for him and his career, I probably wouldn't even like comics. He was part of that group that made me really love comics.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, man. You know what? This makes it all worthwhile, right? I mean, not just entertaining people, but also like people that may, want to pick up a pencil or start writing or something, like creating comics. That's the goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Devilish Boredom says Art wants to be in it as an alien bear.
Ooh. Not too hairy.
And Art said that if we make more than he does, that he's going to end up working with me. So we really got to get these numbers up so we can pass black and white.
I knew that was coming. When Nasser, when they kid about him sending scripts all the time, they're not kidding. It's not hyperbole. It's not a cute story. He actually
I've only sent you 2.
only 2. I've only been like Comicsgate for what, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
In the span of an hour.
I hit you up like way before you were in Comicsgate. I was like, Art, let's work together.
Wait a minute. I think you did.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Oh my gosh. So I was already targeted.
Yeah.
Master sent you a script from the hospital the day he was born.
When he was reading that issue of Action Comics. Oh god, who's snoring?
What was that?
Putting some.
It happens when I hear bad jokes.
Oh.
It puts.
Your mom is a bad joke.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Donald pulled out a mama joke. I haven't heard a mama joke in a while.
Stick around.
Stick around. There's more coming.
So if the audience, the chat, if you guys go in the description, there's a link to Brutus the Badass and also a link to our campaign, Black and White. So go ahead and pick up both those books, and you can.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna make a joke. It's okay.
Oh, I was gonna make a joke too. I was gonna say, please, so I don't have to do anything for Nasser here. Yeah.
I just checked. I sent you this on March 19th. I was asking if you wanted to collab on something.
Oh,
1999.
yeah. It was the day he was born. Weird. Okay, so we have 2 more tiers. Let's try to stay focused here. Okay, so we have the 150, which is the 2 books and likeness in the book. So is this a one panel like background? Okay, so it's a background character, and it's probably like a one panel deal, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of pages, a couple of scenes. One is in a bar, another one takes place at a stadium. So there's some good close ups of like patrons and crowd people, so it's not something real tiny in the back.
It's cool.
Now, are you gonna do like a straight up likeness, or are they gonna kind of be like themed? Like, are they gonna be like kind of wearing alien stuff, or is it gonna just be like a straight up likeness?
Well, if Art's in it, he's gonna look like a ballerina.
Oh man, how'd you know I danced? I'm a great dancer.
It's gonna be just something small that makes him alienish. Like
Hey Donald, since you're the saner of the two and your answer is great, do you remember that Muhammad Ali Superman cover that Neil Adams did with all those celebrities in there?
Yeah.
That's what this reminds me of. So it'll be something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to be something tiny in the background. I mean, you're really. Did you ever see those Sean Murphy pages in Tokyo Ghost where he had?
I never got to see the likeness pages of that.
He posted a couple of them, but they were characters that were kind of standing in the foreground, and then he had like little name tags on them of who the person was because he wasn't good at likeness. I might steal that.
His style doesn't seem like it's really like accommodating of actual likenesses. It's a very like he has a very distinctive sharp style. Yeah.
I also think it's hilarious if they had name tags. I just think it's funny.
It's just like Ryan, some random guy.
It'd be awesome if it correlates with your thank you page. So you could have Cindy Sue, and then she's got the name tag.
Why are they thanking that weird background character?
We thank you. Have Brutus just actually personally like shaking their hands and thanking them in a panel. Thank you, John Smith. Thank you, Bob McElroy.
That's like the ET ride.
Oh, at the end, yeah.
Yes.
That's also. They have them in Florida too. Do you? One of you guys live in Florida, right?
I do.
Did they have the ET attraction at the Florida Universal Studios?
Yeah, actually they did because I remember going to it when I was a kid.
The best ride in the world. Actually, just if you guys go on YouTube, don't leave now, stay here. But somebody uploaded like the full like first person ride through on that ride. It's amazing and hilarious.
Okay, so just to back up and explain. Okay, I don't know if the Florida one, but the one here in California was like your parents would say, this is spoiler, I don't think they have this attraction anymore anyway, but your parents would tell like this person, they say, what's your kid's name? And you go, oh, it's Jimmy. And so then at the end of the attraction or the end of the ride, E.T. would, at the end when your car's coming around, he'd go, what do you say? Like, hello, Jiminy?
Good. No, you go, goodbye, Jimmy. Or
yeah, and then he'd say your name, like, goodbye, Jimmy, Bob, Cindy, Sally, like whoever's in the car with you.
Yeah, whatever kids are in that car. Because they put it on a card. Do you remember? Like, they would take your name on like a card. So they knew who was all in the one.
Yeah, and I guess somebody would type that into ET, the program or whatever, and then it would say, hey, you. And so I remember this is as an adult, we went on this attraction. There were a bunch of us. There were like 5 or 6 of us. And so I thought it would be funny if we all said our name was Bob, so we could just have ET going, see you later, Bob.
You gotta do that again, and then have a bunch of people go on and have Bob, and then have the fourth one say Bob Aran.
Bob. Oh, there you go. Lyrical. Yeah. Okay, so then we have the 2 likenesses, and then we have the 300, which is Brutus and original art page, and it's only $300. That's a deal.
Hey, Art, I gotta go for like 5 minutes, okay?
All right, go and then come back. It takes him 5
escaping.
minutes to use the restroom.
I'm timing him.
I am too.
Right now.
All right, he turned off his mic.
It turns out that Donald's a better guest.
I'm glad that Donald's here because I don't know what would happen if it was just you and me. Like, so, Brutus.
So, right now, Nasser's in the restroom, and we have airtime to kill.
He probably would have taken you guys with him. Like, well, let me tell you about Brutus.
Oh, yuck. I don't want to hear that sound. Well, hey, let me hit refresh and see if you guys have gone up, see if all this talk is doing you any good.
501 backers. That's pretty
668.
good.
It just went up.
Yes.
Yeah, you're at 693. So 50
Excellent.
backers. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool, my friend.
Keep
Thank
it
you.
coming,
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, a dream is becoming reality. That's amazing.
Very much so.
Yeah, so I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to go over and then I'm going back. There we go.
All right.
So then do I click off me, Taylor, so it's not locked on anymore?
Yeah, you can just click like the general area.
Okay. All right.
Looks like we're good.
So Taylor, are you working with art on black and white?
Yes, I am Art's creative partner / co-writer.
And she's mucho talented and actually we should do some writing on that whole Whitney scene in the mental hospital today after this.
Yes, we should.
We have, Donald, we have a tier that we're getting close to where we're going to add new story pages.
Cool.
So since it looks like it's going to be a reality soon, we now have to write these pages, which is a good problem to have, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the
Oh,
fun
yeah.
part.
Yeah, it's the creative fun part. So we're going to add what we have scripted, at least our idea right now is we have 2 pages added to. One is for the Whitney scene, right, in the hospital, and the other one is Whitney and Reed's first meeting proper in the story, right?
Yeah, we have a flashback scene too that we're going to expand upon.
Whitney's past, right, with Chang?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So you guys, we're really trying to make it to that goal because it's pivotal story stuff that we really want to expand upon.
Is that the 30K?
Yeah, that is our 30K goal to get the extra story pages.
Okay. So let's aim this spotlight back on Donald. So how much drawing? I mean, did you always draw as a kid, or?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, not. I didn't like take it really seriously. It was just like a hobby, you know, doodling out. And I was that guy in class that was doodling on tests. You know.
And not studying?
Yeah.
So
do you have
then
any?
ahead.
Sorry, Art.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask. Did you have any formal like training in art?
No. No. And that should probably be obvious.
I don't think so. Yeah,
No,
it looks good.
I'm just self-taught, looking at comics my whole life, and studying anatomy. You know, bodybuilder magazines the old school way. And then when the internet came around, just got some of those fancy 3D models and learned more.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I should start looking into some of those things. They seem pretty handy. I mean, do you use them a lot, or did you just use them in the early when you were, starting out?
When I was starting out, now I have one I use to make sure that my shadows are falling pretty properly.
Oh, really? So you can move the figure around, and then you can kind of find a light source, and then the light source will be consistent no matter where you move the figure?
Yeah.
All right.
Something like SketchUp, or?
A little bit, like when you move the shadows around in a model in SketchUp, you know, it'll fall the way it's supposed to. There's a couple of apps that do that for some figures.
That's pretty cool.
Do you find this slows you down, or is this a, like sometimes when you have to do a lot of reference or you look into things, like it can slow you down. Do you find it speeds you up, or does it slow you down?
It speeds me up sometimes, because instead of having to set up, you know, my bathroom to take a picture of myself.
Why do I hear internet noises?
Because that's Nasser's thing. Yeah. He's disruptive.
What the heck? Okay, we might have to mute this.
It sounds sounds a little Transformer-ish.
My gosh.
Kick Nasser.
Yeah, that's his thing. That's what he likes.
Anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool.
So it speeds you up because it probably takes some of the guesswork out. So the trial and error thing, you don't have to, go through all those different, those practices of like, oh, maybe the lighting would be here, maybe the shadows would be here. You can actually see it in SketchUp and takes the guesswork away.
Yeah, or like when you go take a reference of your face to get the shadows the way they fall.
Right.
I used to have like long hair and a beard a full beard, so it was kind of difficult for me to figure out how shadows are, coming down on my face and onto my neck properly. So I just got this app on my phone, and I just like pop it open and get some shadows here. Okay, that looks relatively decent, and then I just figure out how it needs to fit on, like, let's say Brutus's face, because he has a little broken pug nose and big furrowed eyebrows, big caveman brow.
Right.
And then, I just embellish it to fit the character, try to make sure that the forms are proper.
So as far as the posing and the figure work, do you still use the models for that as well, or are you making up most of that stuff?
I make it up. If I have a difficult one where I need to, like, know that my muscles are proper, I'll try to do a quick little thing in that app just to make sure, okay, the muscle is here in this angle, so I got to make sure not to show this part of the shoulder. But the problem with those apps is, like, you move the arm a certain way, and it like pinches, it flattens and pinches.
Also, it doesn't move organically or naturally.
No.
Okay.
It does a little bit, but when you get it, like you could turn the wrist from flat to side, from horizontal to vertical.
Right.
But if you turn it from palm down to palm up, it pinches the wrist and squeezes it.
Okay, so it pinches at the joints then.
Yeah.
Kind of like if you bend a straw like that, where it will flatten out, the joint will.
Yeah, it doesn't rotate the whole arm properly, so you don't get where, you don't see how the muscles are curving around the arm.
Okay, so it's still limited, but it's a good tool just to take some of the guesswork out.
Yeah, kind of like those little wooden dolls.
Oh, those things are pointless.
Yeah, it just has a little more functionality than the wooden dolls.
Yeah. Have you seen the
muscles?
There's a couple ones like for anime, the little figures. They look like action figures.
Oh, what are those called? Those things are cool.
They're gray. I have two of them. They have a male, female one, and then I have one that's about a foot long, maybe 8 inches, 10 inches, and that one's fully posable. So like when you move it, the muscles, as much as they can, kind of move in position. So it's not like they're stationary. They kind of move in position with, like, if you move the arm and things like that. But you have to be careful with that too. So you kind of have to know where the muscles should be, because sometimes they'll displace. They won't go in the right place, when you move the arm or leg.
Yeah, so, I know what those dolls are. I know what you're talking about. And yeah, the app is basically just like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I like the idea of seeing it and drawing it versus the 3-dimensionality of it, because when you're drawing something 3-dimensional, you could, if you move it slightly or whatever, unless you're able to get the gesture down fast enough, you can kind of lose it, lose the drawing. Okay, so Nasser's back.
Has he been making stupid noises?
We got John Davies in the chat as well.
John is one of the Hack Shack guys, so he used to work in the studio here with Taylor and I. So hey, John.
Let's see. People are pointing out, and I don't know. They want to know if Nasser has done the most work as far as Comicsgate.
Oh my gosh, he might have.
Yeah, that might be true.
I don't know, maybe.
Because how many books have you written now?
Written or are in the works?
Like that are completed.
I think what she means is how many, like finished projects, like Indiegogo books and things like that. Published.
Hold up, I got to mute myself for a second. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Difficult question. I think he has 2.
I think there's 2.
Yeah, I think there's 2, and I also think that what is it? Zach, your boy, has got 2 as well.
That's right.
So maybe they're neck and neck.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see.
But I think Mike Miller is probably going to eclipse all of us soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's got like 2 more coming out, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. So, and also he has the success behind him with Lone Star, the first issue. So he'll be able to, bankroll some of that stuff, and he'll be able to put some of that money into the next project.
Mm-hmm.
As far as getting pencilers, inkers, and colorists. Because I think his next project, somebody else is penciling. I think he's writing it, but somebody else will be penciling it.
Let's
God, what is it
see.
called? Nuclear Family, I think is what it's called.
Yes, that's his newest one.
Yeah.
And Malin has Jawbreakers and a Graveyard Shift.
Oh yeah,
And then-
yeah. He actually has 2 as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Pixel Trader says, we invited Art onto fan speak tonight. Are you in? Oh, they want to know if I'm interested in coming as well. I mean, I'll accompany you, Art, if you want.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah. Hell's yeah.
And someone pointed out Dr. Wright, Mitch, and Elizabeth have futures coming out too. So I guess there's a few people that are on their second project.
Oh, and Ethan with Rainbow Brute. We can't forget that.
Yeah.
That's true. But I think the question was more like what's like out or done, right? Like
Yeah.
or at least Indiegogo wise. Because I think it's Ironsides has been
That's
been
completed.
funded, right? It's in on demand now. Or
It's
in
Yeah.
demand.
fulfilled right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sending that one out to people, along with Nasser sending out Stardust.
Stardust, yeah. So you guys are probably like Nasser and Ironsides are probably the first 2 to ship, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Oh,
That's
he's back.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Sorry, people keep coming down here.
To the cellar where you live.
Well, I'm in the basement, and people keep coming down.
Lock the door.
You should have one of those signs, like enter at your own
doesn't
risk.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
Do not
Is this
disturb.
is this your family, Nasser?
Yeah.
Oh,
They show
hi,
you no
Nasser
respect.
family.
That's the Nasser family. Oh my gosh! You know what? You said that, Taylor. Coming from you. All right, Taylor was on like Family Feud.
Oh no.
So it'd be awesome, like the Grasso family versus the Nasser family. Come on down. Ba-da-da. Yeah. So hey, Taylor, what do you do? I do comics. Hey, Nasser, what do you do? I do
I
comics.
also do comics.
I annoy people on Twitter all day.
You annoy people here too.
Oh,
Well, you know what? He has, right? With those noises and stuff. It's not like I'm
That's
pointing out
true.
something. I'm not making it up. I don't think Nasser knows. He doesn't know any better.
It's that AOL dial-up.
Well, I don't know. I'm an older guy, but it sounds like the old fax machines, right? Is that where you got that, Nasser?
No, it's a dial-up noise on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, old fax machines. I think they were dial-up as well, so they made that sound. Yeah. There you go. Are you babysitting?
I gotta say, I hear a child.
that's my daughter.
Oh.
Oh, how adorable!
She's
that
in
was
the room.
Wow, that was really, really. I don't know. It was very
Wholesome.
touching. Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I was touched. So now you really have to go help Donald. He's got mouths to feed, man.
2 of them.
Ah, very. What are the ages?
3 and oh crap, how old is he?
Oh no.
9.
Oh, good. Yeah.
His birthday's in December, and I'm trying to think, what month is it right now?
It's close. You're gonna have to start thinking about some Christmas and birthday gifts.
Oh, I mean, he's 9 months.
Oh.
9 months. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you said he was 9.
I thought he was 9, yeah.
9
Oh
months.
my God. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you got a newborn.
Fresh baby.
So you don't have to worry about any of those things. Then he won't know.
No, I do because my wife makes us do it.
Oh, well, no, it's
he's,
still good. Yeah.
he's got to have presents. He's not even 1 yet. He doesn't know what Christmas is.
Yeah. But you know what? There's going to be plenty of videos and photographs. So, yeah. So he'll
Really
remember.
It's really just a day for me to put together crap.
That's
You know what?
the spirit.
This is a really, really weird story. But now that you mention it, there's this. She doesn't live there anymore. Thank goodness. This woman, I don't know. She didn't have a soul. She was the weirdest lady. She thought
Sounds perfect.
Yeah. She thought like because I worked all hours, because you guys know, like being a freelancer and stuff like that, doing comics, sometimes you work until like 2 o'clock in the morning.
I really wouldn't know.
Oh, you really wouldn't know. Yeah, you only have 2 books. But anyway, so this is just to show you like what kind of weirdo she was. So we're talking to her mom, like her mom's visiting. So we never talked to her, but her mom was the one that actually was open enough to start talking. And so we're talking. So then she comes out, and then she's like, "Oh, you do comics?" Because that's what the mom asked. And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, like what? And I go, like Superman, Batman, that kind of stuff. She goes, "Oh, I thought you were a drug dealer." And then she starts walking away, and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "Oh, because you're up at all hours of the night." And I'm like, "So that means I'm a drug dealer?" Like, that's the weirdest. Like, how do you draw this conclusion, right? Like, I see the light on at all hours.
I'd be like, I didn't say I wasn't.
Well, I would think like drug dealer wouldn't people have to come to the house, and I'd be like, like supplying, like, bringing boxes out and like loading them up in their car and stuff like that. Like some kind of drive-in, like, like this is like a drive-up like window.
You wear
like
a satin shirt one time, and look what happens.
Yeah.
You walk outside in your boxer shorts, eating cereal once, and hand a package in a car.
And then they think you're a drug, but then okay, so it gets weirder. Okay, so how you said you have to put stuff together, which most fathers will know that. So spoiler alert, I'm not going to say anything more about Christmas, but yeah, sometimes dads have to put things together.
Yeah, make sure your Christmas present when you have your first child is some kind of drill set.
Yeah. So you'll have stuff to put the rest of the toys together. But anyways, so this woman, it's like Christmas Eve, and she comes over, and keep in mind we have a little one too, so we're making merry, and she goes, "Can you come over for maybe an hour or so?" And I go, "For what?" She goes, "I need
my fix."
No, yeah, I need my drugs. She wanted me to put her kids' toys together, and I'm like, "Aren't you married? Where's your husband?" And she's like, "Oh, he's at work." And I'm like, "Really? You couldn't have prepared more? Like this
can't do it herself.
This is so hands off. Like you have kids and you can't even put your own stuff together.
That's
is weird.
Super rude. Like to inconvenience you like that, but also like if she thought you were a drug dealer, but you were good enough to do that, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm close enough to her to put her, and she trusts me enough to put her kids' toys together.
I don't know what to tell you, Sally. You might have to learn how to use a drill.
You know what I should have done is put the bikes together all messed up, and then the kids take like a header, and it's like, "Well, what do you expect, man? I'm a drug addict / dealer."
The seat's all backwards.
Yeah. So, I think I put a drum set together and a couple bikes. So.
Oh, that was nice. You still did it.
Yeah. So, okay. So
that puts me in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, we're so close. So he'll be a year then. This December.
Yeah, December 20th.
Okay, because our daughter, well, not Taylor and I, but my wife and I, our daughter was born the last day of the year, the 31st. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Almost a New Year baby.
Yeah. Exactly. So we got her in so we could claim her on our taxes.
That was a good call.
Yeah, it was all planned. Okay, here's another weird story just to fill time. Okay, so while we're we're expecting and we're in the hospital.
Audience, tell us your strange holiday stories.
Yeah, and so we're waiting for the arrival of our little bundle of joy. And so then we're just talking to other people there in the hospital. And they're like, "Oh, so you scheduled your C-section too?" And it was like, "What are you talking about? No, this is like because the kid was in distress and stuff. So this was kind of an emergency thing. So this wasn't like we were planning
you
this or anything."
scheduled it.
Yeah, so you scheduled. I go, "What? Why would we schedule something like that?" She goes, "Oh, so you could have her as a tax write-off." And I'm like, "People think like this?
Wow,
This is
you
weird."
were born with a purpose.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure we could get you in and claim you on the previous year's taxes. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so weird.
I wish on some level though, I wish I was that functional Or you could even
actually.
plan your life that way.
Yeah, the birth of your child. Yeah, it's like, we're gonna schedule it on this day.
Our firstborn.
I don't know if they were that functional. They would have planned it earlier.
That's true. They wouldn't have waited. They wouldn't have waited till the last day of the year. Yeah.
John wants to know if the inspiration of Bruce's art is from the old Lobo art.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely not. It's an original concept.
Simon Bisley is a big influence on me, and Keith Giffen, especially his Trencher run, Giffen's Trencher book.
Oh, it's great stuff.
I've actually never read that.
Art, you're slipping.
Oh yeah. Go back issues of your local comic shop, Taylor. You'll enjoy it because it's all tongue in cheek. I mean, it's really it's edgy, but it's not. Would you say it's dark humor, Donald?
No, not really.
It's just kind of a darker or edgier world, but there's definitely some really broad humor. I guess kind of RoboCop-ish, right? Where there's like there's humor, but it's kind of dark humor as well.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a serious sci-fi story about almost like a bounty hunter. I can't remember what he did.
I'm looking at it right now. I can totally see that inspiration.
Well, they're both bounty hunters, right? So Lobo and Trencher, they're both bounty hunters, right?
Lobo was a mercenary.
That's true. That's right. Yeah.
Very cool style.
But the story in the book was kind of written seriously, with the typical joke, the way Wolverine would have, like, they say, that's gonna hurt, that kind of cheesy joke. But then in the art, when he punches somebody's guts out,
graphic.
It'll be graphic, and the sound effect will just be like a little cartoon bubble, and it'll have like it'll say 5-pound bag of spam hitting the ground.
So it's kind of like
it's like Airplane.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
Goofy.
humor just to like, and some of the violence is like so overdone, like you can't take it seriously. So it's very violent and stuff, but it's definitely really broad. So I would say it's kind of broad. It's broad humor, but it's also a little dark-ish, just in the sense that we're kind of making light of people dying and being killed.
It's like one of the first villains in it is his power is like his nose hairs will come out and grab you.
Like Bobobo.
And
anime fans.
Trencher sets them on fire.
Yeah, it's good stuff. How many issues was that? It was originally a miniseries, right?
Yeah, it was like 4. I think it was 4 issues at Image, and then there was 1 issue at Black Ball Comics, and there was 1 Christmas special. And
that was drawn by Giffen as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love holiday special books.
If you count the Images of Shadowhawk miniseries that Giffen wrote and drew, which I do, because it's basically a Trencher book.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's got Trencher in it. And yeah, there's also those 3 books.
I remember Lobo had a couple Christmas episodes or issues. Gosh, what is he? He's like shooting up all Santa's elves. It is so crazy violent.
Paramilitary Christmas. I love
that. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Yeah.
That cover. He's just standing over a dead Santa.
Are there? Oh gosh, maybe I'm thinking that there's some cherub death in there too, but maybe it's just the elves. Maybe I'm thinking something else.
And if you guys, people tuning in, if you guys look in the channel out of the Kiss corner that we did, we were looking through some of the Kiss comics, and you can see some of them. Art clicks through while we're talking, and there's a really great panel from one of the Kiss comics where Jean like sets a bunch of cherubs on fire, and I think the dialogue is just like, Jean, like setting cherubs on fire, that's low even for you.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, they're flying in, right? Like
and he's breathing fire,
and he's breathing fire on them. He's setting these cherubs on fire.
Is that from the recent Kiss?
No, it
this-
was way old.
This actually looks kind of Buscema-ish, so it actually might be that the magazine size, the one that's printed in real Kiss blood. I don't know. This is an older book, so as Nasser would say, this is for the old farts or the boomers. But
I thought that might have been the one that Angel Medina drew.
no, this is not. Yeah, that stuff is
Okay.
great. The John Buscema stuff was good too, but that Angel Medina Psycho Circus stuff, that was really good.
Yeah, it really is.
And actually, we're going to have Kevin Conrad on tomorrow, Saturday, right, Taylor?
That's right. Tomorrow, all the
Yeah.
days
So
are bleeding
tomorrow
together.
we're gonna do a YouTube show. We have a new channel called Kiss Corner, and so we have Scott Palacios, who's our kissologist, and he brings up all the new stuff. And then I'm a fan from a certain time to a certain time. I didn't follow their entire career, and then Kevin Conrad, who worked with Angel Medina on that Psycho Circus, and is in a Kiss cover band called Revenge. He's gonna come on. Yeah, he's gonna come on with us tomorrow morning. And we're gonna do a YouTube channel. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Awesome.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be a lot of fun.
Yeah. He's inker, and he inked a lot of that Spawn stuff too. God, I'm trying to think. Was it Tony Daniels?
I
Yeah,
thought he was very good.
Yeah, I think
He,
he inked Tony Daniels.
yeah, he came over with Tony on from I think it was New Mutants or X Factor.
Okay.
Dr.
Yeah,
Wright
yeah.
wanted to ask you guys about regarding Brutus. Have you guys thought about marketing the book outside of Comicsgate, maybe to sci-fi book forums, etc.?
Nasser.
No, that's it.
I'm well, okay, maybe not the sci-fi book forums. I don't think that'd be the best place for it.
What's kind of sci-fi? It's future, like space and their spaceships and all that kind of stuff, right? So, I mean, it's like a sci-fi action adventure comedy, right?
Well, it's
Yeah.
more like action comedy. It doesn't really play on the sci-fi elements that much.
Okay.
It kind
It's
of
got a
looks like
robot.
yeah.
It's got a
I
robot.
was gonna say it kind of reminds me of those
Yeah,
like pulp sci-fi things with like the hyper violence and stuff. I would say that there's that similar fan base.
It does have a little bit of roots in sci-fi, I think.
I'm gonna have to go digging around some forums tonight.
Or at least, at the very least, try to figure out what kind of book you guys have.
The genre.
Yeah, because it seems like you guys are at odds right now. Sci-fi, maybe not.
I'd say just barely. Like, I mean, kind of, but we're not really focusing on any sci-fi aspects.
What
Yeah,
genre do you think it would more accurately fit into?
Action comedy.
Action and comedy, like we said 40 times.
Yeah, but that's not like a
Dang,
setting.
My gosh.
I mean, it's set in space, but I mean that's why I would call it a sci-fi. But it's as much sci-fi as Alien, I guess. I mean the focus of Alien wasn't sci-fi. You could set that movie in a underwater or like oil base or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's like the subject matter can vary.
Yeah.
So sci-fi would loosely just describe the world that they live in, but it's not really the tone or the main feel of the story.
Right.
Okay. So whatever that guy said about that sci-fi books or whatever, then absolutely not.
I guess not. The answer is no.
We were trying to help, but apparently.
No, but he gave me a good idea. I mean, I can go look around some other forums. Like I can go see if Simon Bisley has a forum on his website, and I can go to.
Dr.
Actually-
Wright says it's written, so as a genre, it would be sci-fi, which is a broad category. You can call it sci-fi fantasy. I don't know, Dr. Wright.
But Nasser wouldn't.
No, Nasser's too anal.
You may call it that, Dr. Wright, but Nasser disagrees.
Just to be contrary, he did.
But I could probably go to like some '90s action movie forums and sell it there.
Definitely.
Oh, definitely would fit in there. Would it fit in there, Nasser?
Maybe.
That's awesome. That is funny.
I say it would.
Okay. I've been dying to share this with you. I'm gonna tangent for a minute. Bisley, it's been coming up a lot. Okay, so I did with my daughter. My daughter does these shows with me. She's also an artist slash cosplayer, so she likes all this stuff like we do. And so we were in Austin, Texas, and we were doing a show, and Simon Bisley was there as well. So we were all staying in the same hotel. So every morning, everybody's eating breakfast at the same time. So then we get all carpooled over to the con. So after like a day or two, you start getting to know each other and things like that. So my daughter did this Catwoman drawing. So Simon Bisley is this huge guy. He's a pretty gruff guy, and he's drinking alcohol in the morning at breakfast time. So this guy
Awesome.
likes he's not a poser. This guy's living the lifestyle, the whole rock and roll lifestyle, right? So okay, so he comes over to my daughter's table. We're side by side, and so he's like, "Oh, this is a really good drawing." He says, "How much?" And so she tells him, and so he buys it. He buys the drawing off my daughter. I'm like, "Oh my
What an
gosh,
honor.
this is Simon Bisley buying a Catwoman drawing off my kid." Like, she doesn't know who he is, but I'm like, this is awesome, right? So then I just want to, like commemorate this moment, because I'm like the proud pop. It's not just the proud dad, but it's also like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, this is Simon Bisley,
Pretty
right?
amazing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
took
so-
a picture of my daughter selling her first picture, but you're really over here leaning into Simon Bisley with peace sign.
Exactly.
Daughter.
So he's the nicest, sweetest guy. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this guy is not only just generous, but he's so sweet with all the compliments. And he's like, sure, come on over, we'll take a picture. So we find some, because we all, I want to get in the picture. My daughter and Simon's a big guy, and the T-Bears we're not big people, and so. My daughter's under one arm, literally under one arm, and I'm under the other arm. So this guy is like towering over us. He is like Lobo, right? And so then the guy takes the picture, and so we're like, oh man, what a sweet guy. So then I look, I get the camera back, and I look at the picture because I want to see how good it looks. He's giving a double middle finger, like to the camera, like he's just flipping us off. So yeah, there's our Simon Bisley story. Yeah, so we got a double go, as we say, with the middle finger. Yeah, so it was awesome.
It's a good Bisley story.
It's a good Bisley story. Yeah. So my daughter got some money out of it anyway. He flipped us off.
It's an honor.
It
But
was an
that
honor.
seems like something he would do in every picture.
Yeah, like what would you expect, right? I mean,
Right.
the other thing was just like he kind of set us up, like, look, I'm a nice guy, and then he just reminded us that, he's a nice guy, but with a bit of an edge. There's just a little bit of an edge to him. Yeah. So I don't care. I think it's the perfect photo, actually. All right, guys. What you guys want to add anything? You want to give a plug? Do we have anything in the chat, Taylor? Should we?
I'll add that on the list that you got meet Simon Bisley.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we should try to wrap it up. You guys, if you want to support Brutus the Badass and get these guys some more backers, Nasser's channel is in the description, and the Brutus the Badass link to their Indiegogo campaign is there as well. You should totally go and pledge.
So how many days do you have left, Nasser?
9.
9 days.
You have 9 days to get your copy. Get on it, you guys.
Brutus the Bad, shut your mouth. Yeah, you can't say the A word. Or can.
Brutus the Bad. What?
What? Yeah, what? Okay.
I'm talking about Brutus.
What's that? What'd you say, Donald?
I said, but I'm talking about Brutus.
I'm just talking about Brutus. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So would you like to add anything, Nasser or Donald?
No, just exactly what you guys said. Go back, Brutus, please. I have mouth to feed.
Just please check it out. We got to beat art.
Well, you got 9 days. So yeah, get on it.
There's still hope.
There's still hope. There's a lot of great perks that we and tiers that we pointed out to you guys. So yeah, get on it. Yeah, like Donald's got two little mouths to feed, and it's a great looking book. And I'd like to see more art come from Donald as well. So support it so he can keep drawing more amazing comics. So thanks, guys. Was there anything in the chat that anybody wanted to get in last minute, Taylor?
And go check out Black and White.
Oh, thank you, Donald.
Something about the Cult of Raven.
What's the Cult of Raven?
I don't know.
I
Someone
think.
plug the Cult of Raven.
Oh, I think we just plugged somebody else's book.
Here, Nasser is a member. You should be one too.
Oh, okay. Taylor Nasser stayed pretty silent during that. So
I just came in here and hogged the entire conversation, talking about old things that are older than Nasser.
yeah, everything's older than Nasser. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for coming on, and thanks for doing this with us. I hope everybody
Thank you.
goes out and backs. Oh, you're welcome. Goes out and backs Brutus the Badass. And Taylor, you want to give a parting shot?
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And maybe you could back Black and White after you've got your copy of Brutus the Badass.
Definitely. All right. Thanks, guys.